Well, the other three guys are doing so poorly. The other three rookies. I don't know what he bases that off of.
I just think everybody has completely lost sight of the purpose of having a football team, which is to go out and try and win games.
Right.
Everyone has lost sight of that.
With your best players.
And has been willing to punt on a season and not care about how the team plays on Sunday. And when you get to that point, you've lost your way.
Yep.
You have.
A lot of you have.
You've got to play your best players and give yourself the best chance to win every single week when you're playing at this level in any professional sport. I'm sorry. Yeah. And I think way too many people have lost sight of that. Drake Maye is a better quarterback than Jacoby Brissett without ever having played a real meaningful snap at the start of a game in his life. Okay? He is. He's got more ability. He's going to make some things happen for them. He scrambles a lot. He runs a lot. He did those things in college. He's going to do those things in the NFL. He's tough. Always has been. It's going to be tough when he takes hits at this level. And they're going to find a way to the end zone, which right now they cannot do with the current guy. So I feel like that has just been completely avoided as a topic of conversation. You're supposed to go out and try and win games. This is waving the white flag. You keep starting Jacoby Brissett, you're waving the white flag. And you're a loser franchise again. And I really don't think any team should ever want to go there, or any fan base should ever want to go there.
And you got your defensive team, your special teams unit coming in the building each and every week. You look up, oh, he's still the starter. We've been practicing against this guy who's been playing well. Again, convictions. What am I doing this for? Why am I hanging my neck out there? Why am I playing through a shoulder injury? You guys aren't even playing the best guy.
Yeah.
Could lead to some things with guys within the team. And they got to recognize that, and that's why this move probably has to be made too. Because you can't win games scoring 10, 13 points. Can't do it. Doesn't matter how many times you turn over. If you threw the interception or not, it's just, what's the point production? Job of the quarterback is to get the team in the end zone. Bill Parcells used to say that all the time. You got one job, get your team in the end zone.
What would Bill Belichick do right now if he were still head coach?
I think he would have started week 1, like Mac, because he would recognize that gives me the best chance to win.
He would not have screwed around with signing Jacoby Brissett.
No.
He would not have done any of that.
No.
He would have done what he did with Mac.
Yeah, and you had the veteran here in Cam, and you look at it, and he beat him out. He probably would have had more of an open competition in Cam. Not open competition. Like, it looked like Cam was number one in all the drills and all the team stuff. So we never thought Cam was going to get cut.
Yeah.
And then they did that quiet competition behind the scenes, just watching him. Watch how he operated. I could tell in games in preseason. Mac was handling everything Tom did. Gun, movement, redirecting guys, stop, check. It's stuff Tom did. I'm like, wow, that's a lot. I remember telling Bob, that's a lot for a rookie, man. A lot. And he could tell. We could tell that he was passing Cam, but we didn't believe it. And then Bill did that week 1. Cut him before week 1. Bill would have went with the young guy. Because he would know in the long run, too, my tenure here, 3 years from now, we're going to be money. You know?
Right. Nobody questioned Bill when he started Mac Jones right out of the gate.
No. Yeah, how do you cut a veteran?
Right.
Nobody has that.
Nobody questioned that because it was clearly a better option than what they had.
Bill would have went with him week 1. Straight. Yeah.
And so I wonder, are people questioning this simply because they don't trust Gerard Mayo or Alex Van Pelt? And those are fair questions to have. I mean, it's fair to say I don't really trust these guys because they don't have a track record, and look at what that small track record is. It sucks. So I get that, but play the best players.
I get it. The one thing that I'm nervous about is kind of what you're hitting on here a little bit, which is the timing of this whole thing. And it feels like you're reacting to what was a horrific performance last week, and you're abandoning a plan that clearly you had. I personally want to see Drake Maye, but the organization has been waiting for this. And now are you putting him in a brutal spot because you don't want to get booed again at home versus what your ultimate plan? Are you abandoning your plan for Drake Maye simply because it looks so bad? And I think if you actually have a plan in place that you think is the best possible situation for Drake Maye, you shouldn't abandon that just because Jacoby Brissett looks bad. You shouldn't.
Yeah, and I also wonder that if you're going to have him starting by week 6, right, why did you not give him more of an opportunity from the jump?
Right.
From going back to the spring.
Yes.
Why didn't you treat him as at least an equal in the summer months, even if you didn't have the plan of starting in week 1?
I think,
and I questioned that from the very beginning. That's not 2020 hindsight, okay?
Yeah.
That was my question during all of camp, which was, when do you think you're going to delay this until? Right? Even if you get to week 9, what you do now could be valuable then,
right.
And they just completely avoided it. And I think that speaks to them having a plan that was never solid. They had no solid plan for this kid.
There was no weak plan. They just always assumed, this kid would take over maybe from an injury because you didn't have a veteran backup. He's the backup, and here's your natural input. And I think he empowered Van Pelt too much here. Whether it was the decision to bring in Jacoby, but every question about the offense, it was big. Hey, go talk to Alex. He's the head coach of the offense. And Gerard's a big defensive guy, So maybe he regrets not giving Alex the edict to, you got to have an open competition here. He let him run with Jacoby. It was always like Jacoby's won.
Yeah.
Anytime any of them talked in the summer.
So now Phil was telling us last week, you talked to people in the building, and the plan was still to play him, but it's not this week, it's not next week, it's not lunch, right? I think once they do name Drake Maye the starter tomorrow, and we go back to talking to Phil on Friday about that, I think it's proof that they didn't have a freaking real plan.
Right.
We're all over the place. They're throwing darts at the wall at this point. They didn't have a plan.
And that's the part
what the hell they're doing.
That's the part about the start that makes me nervous.
Yeah, that's the part that I think you're referring to, which is what was this? This was not the ramp up and the good landing spot or any of that. And that's why I asked that question a segment ago. How stupid are they going to look when they start him Sunday against Houston, but they didn't start him against Miami last week? How dumb was that?
Yeah.
You idiots.
I just think when you look at the preseason and you look at that schedule in your first 4 or 5 weeks, they probably want him to avoid September. And the natural bubble in the schedule to me is these next 4 weeks. And I think you missed a big opportunity.
But I don't think that was their plan. No, I don't think they went into it saying 4 games, sit out September, we get them up and running.
Agreed.
They didn't do that.
No.
They're just seeing how it goes with Jacoby Brissett, and it's wretched.
They should have looked at Miami and said, man, we got Tyler Huntley.
It was such an opportunity. It was such an opportunity.
Guy that's off the street. It's not Tua.
You go back and watch any of the game again?
Yeah.
How many clean pockets did you see Jacoby Brissett have? More than maybe you thought on the first go-around?
More than the first 4 games, yes. And he got fidgety when he had time. And I don't blame him.
He looks a little shell-shocked.
Yeah.
He looks like these first 4 weeks have started impacting.
You get time, and then all of a sudden you start looking at the rest a little bit. Oh, God, I got time here. Then you start pumping the feet, and then you get all disjointed. Him getting hit hurt his ability to run the team. That makes sense. The veteran part of it.
Yeah, because he doesn't have a great ability to escape it.
Right, because now you're looking at it, too.
Drake Maye does.
Yeah.
It's going to help him in this regard.
And that's one thing Mayo called him, slow as hell. Remember that in preseason?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
I don't think Jacoby Brissett is built for a team with the protection problems this team has had. I don't think he is.
Jacoby Brissett,
he's ill-equipped for
at this point, I think is your absolute perfect pro quarterback that you have sitting there waiting, and you need 2 games from the guy or 3.
My starter's out for 2 weeks.
My starter got hurt, man.
Yeah.
It's the Brian Hoyer aspect.
How do you think he's going to react?
I think he's going to be pissed.
I think he is, too. I think everyone is overrating that he's a professional. He's getting the $8 million. I think he's going to be ripped.
Did you hear him across the street? He did his interview Monday.
Expects to be the starter.
And it was quick answer, yes, no. Did they talk? No. Why? He's starting to get pissed.
Why?
He was pissed. He was pissed after he was announced as starter in August. Remember that?
He couldn't believe that anybody even wanted to talk to him.
Media guys wanted this press conference. I always knew I was the guy.
Well, that may have been promised to you when you signed here. I don't think it's a promise that lasts forever.
No.
Yeah, I just say to him, the passing situation needs to be a little better. And
yeah.
You're not really getting the job done, Ace.
Ace is the place for helpful hardware.
Sure is. Absolutely. Jacoby Brissett took 2 sacks on Sunday. He had some clean pockets. Could have made some more plays. Didn't. And now I think he's getting benched.
Hey, if you like that clip, check out more videos from Zolak and Bertrand right here. For more Patriots analysis and opinion, hit this playlist. And for all the latest from the Sports Hub, download the app at 985thesportshub.com.